So on Wednesday, we discussed the Astor versus J.P. Morgan and federal money, or the Federal Reserve. Looks like there has always been a correlation of finances, federal finances, and the Titanic. Take a look.
A ship like the Titanic would take 2 to 3 days for a thorough inspection. However, the Titanic was inspected in 2 to 3 hours. The inspector signed off without even seeing the engine. And you might think if he went down and saw the engine, they may have noticed the massive fire burning in the coal bunkers. It's a known fact that the Titanic had a fire raging out of control for days and possibly weeks before it ever departed to New York. In fact, only one of the coal stokers stayed on with the company to continue working. And this was in the middle of a coal shortage, where work was very hard to come by. Yet all of these men walked off of the job. When there's a fire on a steam engine, it is very difficult to put out. The usual method is to shovel the burning coal into the engine faster. However, a direct effect of shoveling the coal faster is that the ship will also go faster. It is quite possible that dealing with the fire is what caused the Titanic to be sailing at such a high speed through iceberg-infested waters. It does seem highly suspicious that JP Morgan canceled his reservation just hours before the ship was set to sail. None of the passengers on board were informed of the fire, but you have to think the owner of the ship would be privy to this information. As I mentioned earlier, the ship's designer was on board when the Titanic struck an iceberg. After looking at the damage, he did tell everyone on board that the ship would not sink. However, he was unaware of the raging inferno below. The ship was designed so that the bottom was to remain sealed, in a separate compartment preventing any water from getting in. However, when the fire caused an explosion in the same spot the iceberg was struck, the unsinkable Titanic was doomed. The question still remains, did JP Morgan deliberately sink his own ship to create a clear path for the creation of the Federal Reserve?
Parts of the submarine that I'd seen in the testing in the Bahamas just seemed a bit shoddy. They're using industrial piping for ballast. They're using an Xbox controller for the steering. The strip lightings, something you get at a DIY shop. Small cramped surfaces. I wasn't happy with some of the design, like the thrusters on the outside with the cables there. I thought that was a snagging hazard.
So with all this search that's been ongoing, Paul, it now seems pretty clear, doesn't it? I mean, there's been some report of stuff that was detected by the US Navy on Sunday. It looks like this happened actually on the day it went down, doesn't it?
Story that's breaking right now in the Wall Street Journal. I want to put up the headline here, and this is what they are reporting. A top-secret US Navy detection system designed to spot enemy submarines first heard the Titan's submersible implosion days ago.